recognition.
Was that 100% because of Howard?
Yeah, I mean, Howard showing up at SiriusXM changed everything. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Do you remember that? Like, what was that like? Like, was it
yeah,
like,
of
holy
course.
shit, Howard Stern is coming here? I mean, I would
Yeah,
imagine
I mean,
it would
yeah,
be.
but we were a part of Martha's team. So it was almost like that was what was happening. Like Howard was Howard and is Howard. So yeah, of course he's coming here. It's a huge deal. The Messiah is going to be at SiriusXM. Like that's what it felt like there, like Radio Messiah was going to be there. But Martha was such a big shot. So like Martha knew Howard, especially since the two of them were going to be at SiriusXM and they were the two celebrity names at the start. And so there was kind of that thing that we were part of the same club, sort of. But I was horribly insecure and like saw him before we had launched in a restaurant, and I was with Alexis and Martha, and I was definitely nervous and didn't really want to like engage, and because I was intimidated.
I mean, Howard is a god. I would be intimidated.
Yeah, years later in 2011, I got to be a guest on his show, and that was really, really cool. He interviewed me, and that was one of the, I would say, highlights of my career.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, what was it like being interviewed by Howard? I mean, Howard's like a genius.
It was pretty cool. I mean, he was lovely. He was very kind to me.
And there was Robin and the whole thing.
I love Robin. Yeah. She's wonderful. Yeah. The whole,
Wow.
the whole crew is. John Hines, my friend, his wife, Debbie, like they're really nice people there.
Yeah. I mean, Howard's, I think, one of the best in the business, really.
Well, yeah. And he's also nice off air. He's a lovely man. He's not like, well, in recent years, I think on air, he's similar to who he is off air. And his wife, Beth, is fantastic. And she's a friend. And I love everything she stands for and all her work with the cats and animals. We're fully aligned in that. So I like them. It's just they've only been nice.
What was it like when you were with Alexis interviewing Paula Abdul?
Oh my gosh, I can't even remember that at that point. I feel like Paula had done some work somehow with my dad. There were a few years my dad was doing some random consulting work, and I think Paula might have been one of his clients, because I remember she was at our house once, I think. And because I remember she was here. I just don't remember why or how many times. So I had met her before, and she was great. I mean, she's another one of those people that's fiercely talented and then went on to do different things from what we knew her as originally. Like she was a choreographer, and then she was a pop artist, and then she was a host on American Idol, right? And so, or judge. And she's a sweet woman, a very, very sweet woman. I mean, I felt like I was the size of Topeka, Kansas next to her, because she is the teeny tiniest person I've ever seen. But apart from that, yeah, it's good. She's lovely. No problems there.
Are you into music just because you grew up around it? And do you know, like, are you into current music? I mean, I couldn't name you half. And are your kids into music? Do they keep you? I mean, they're older too.
My daughter will keep me. If we're in the car together, she plays her music and I beg her to shut it off because I'm old. But yeah, she's very into current music, and my son listens to music too, but I'm in the car more with my daughter than I am with my son. But they both also know older stuff, because my husband only listens to 70s in the car and I really like 80s. And so that's sort of our sweet spot. I think the stuff that you listen to during those formative years, your teenage years, that bring you right back, like the soundtrack to our lives, is kind of where we go back to listening to those eras or those decades. But music for me, I have a kind of, I wouldn't say love-hate. I'd say I love music. I've always been musical. I sing. I can like play a little piano by ear, but I am very emotionally involved with music. And so if I am feeling emotionally vulnerable, it's not great. Because I will just cry. Music hits me, music wrecks me, and I don't have the ability to regulate my emotions well enough to sort of tolerate it.
That makes sense to me. I am, and I will choose the 80s as well. Let's put a chip on the 80s, some 90s, some 70s, but if I listen to only 80s music for the rest of my life, I would be happy. I would be fine.
Same, because it's like what we know. It brings us back. It's like that was a fun era, and I know some of the music's really horrible, and like the techno sound that like it's hard, but like "Too Turned On" by Alicia. Is there a better song? I'm not sure.
It's all just, I was listening to Prince 1999, the album
Best.
at the gym this morning. And I'm
So
like,
good.
this is just out of all the things I could have chosen for today. And yesterday I was listening to the Go-Go's Beauty and the Beat. So I'm like, I'm the wrong. And I really try to force myself to look at new music, learn who's on there. And then I'm like, I give
You're
up.
better than me. I don't do that. Cause if I hear it on like a hit swan or on a pop station, great. But I tend to go to like the adult contemporary stations, old people music, or like the softer listening, old people music. And the stuff that, again, I also like really cheesy pop, like stuff that American Idol would have played in the early years, like those kind of artists. Elliot Yamin. I mean, I'm not proud of my musical selections, or I go back to like Dolly and Barbara and the stuff that we grew up with.
The Barbara Streisand Guilty CD is
that was my dad's. Yeah, that was my dad's. Yeah,
that's the one that I just like Saturday morning with a cup of coffee and a candle. I'm like, if you didn't know I was gay, like here we are.
Now
people.
you do. But you know, it's another good the main event song, main event. And I don't think my dad did that one, but that song,
I gotta listen to it. Yeah.
If you listen to the theme from the main event, Barbara singing extra, extra, I'm in love. I gotta thank my lucky stars. She's at a higher key, of course, but and better. But it'll make you want to exercise.
Really? Okay, I got it.
Don't be late.
And her Donna Summer, her song with Donna.
Well, that was my dad. My dad paired them. He did that duet.
That was
epic. Yeah.
Are you shocked? Like, speaking of Bethenny, I know you are not into Housewives at all. Are you shocked at just like that reality TV and Housewives, that this is just such a thing?
I mean, no, I get it. I get it. But I guess I know the reality of reality TV. So I know that the emotions are real and that the setups are sometimes created, enhanced, encouraged. So I know that. And I also am a person who is extremely conflict averse. So because I hate conflict so much, it's very hard for me to watch it. I get uncomfortable. I get uneasy. And so I think that's part of why, like, I never really wanted to do reality like TV as a thing. I danced around it at one point. I did like a demo reel, but it was so sweet that it was like, where's the oomph? Where's the drama? Where's the fighting? Where's the, like, it's not going to happen with me because I steer as clear away from that as I possibly can. And I don't drink. So I'm like a total zero when it comes to those things. But like, so I get uncomfortable really easily. I don't like to see people hurting. I don't like to see people uneasy. It's a little easier for me to tolerate in fiction on TV, but that's really my heart. I like heartwarming reality television that I can get behind.
Like what? Like the Great American Bake Off or something?
Sure. That was a